Um, this week we're going over a couple of different things. One is decir la hora, which is to tell time, and another one is AR verbs. So, um, AR verbs are very specific. AR by AR I mean verbs that end with the letters AR. Let's get into it. Decir la hora. Some key vocabulary are reloj, pronunciations reloj. You can, I know R's are hard, so you can say reloj. It's totally fine. If you can't roll it, it's okay. Some practice if you want to learn how to roll it is just try to make it's about tongue placement. So make the d, the like the D, like you're gonna make a D, but soften the tongue and then that's how you kind of start it. Anyways, let me know if that works for you. So reloj for clock, la hora is the time. ¿Qué hora es? Is what time is it? Son las or es la. Son is for anything between 2 and 12. Es is singular for one. So think of it that way. One, and anything after that is multiple numbers, right? So multiples, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So that's plural. So for example, you could say, so it is, right? Son las, es la una. It is one. Las dos, las tres, las cuatro, all the way through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So some tips when telling the time. You can say, so I took a screenshot over here that I think is very helpful, and I took some screenshots throughout to share. So to give times up to 30 minutes past the hour, use E. Y, the letter Y is pronounced E in Spanish. So son las 3:20, 3:20. It's 3 and 20. 3:20, okay? Or 20 past 3 or however. To give times more than 30 minutes past the hour, use menos. So think of it like halfway through, like before the half hour, you're adding on. After the half hour, you have so many minutes left until the next hour. So say you're saying 3:40. Son las 4 menos 20. And it involves some math. So that means it's 20 till 4. So you move on to the next hour and then reduce by 20. Son las 4 menos 20. Which is, or you can just say 3:40. You can say that. It's easier, but if you want to be like more kind of sound more legit, 4 menos 20, and that's 3:40. For times greater than 30 minutes past, you can also use E, like I said there. Son las 3:40. All right. So, presente de los verbos regulares. Regular verbs, regular verb ending. So regular means present tense. It gives an important information. They express what the action is and who's doing it and when it takes place. So specifically with the AR verbs, the present tense expresses these notions. An action that occurs regularly or routinely. Trabajo los lunes y los martes. We'll get to days of the week and all of that later on, but trabajo, it means I work. Trabajar is the verb, AR at the end, right? Yo trabajo. And you'll see it in here in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros. Vosotros is the Spanish way of saying nosotros. And, no, like you all, I guess. And ellos. So, yo trabajo, tú trabajas. As you can see the ellas. Él, ella trabaja. Nosotros trabajamos. Vosotros trabajáis. And ellos trabajan. I work on Mondays and Tuesdays, right? An ongoing action or condition. So, tomo 4 clases este semestre. Tomar, same thing. Yo tomo, tú tomas, etc. Hablar, yo hablo, tú hablas. So some common AR verbs, I've said a few already, are contestar, which means to answer. Descansar, which means to rest. escuchar, which means to listen, estudiar, which means to study, hablar, which means to speak or discuss, llegar means to arrive, and mirar means to see or watch. Some other ones are participar, participate. Pasar is to pass, like to pass time or to pass a physical space. Practicar, to practice. Regresar, to return. Terminar, to terminate or to finish or wrap up. Tocar, to touch. Tomar, either to take or to drink. And trabajar is to work or work itself. So forms of AR verbs. To create a sentence using this pretense, you must conjugate the verb. That means you must remove the AR and add the ending. As we saw on the last slide, that's a quick template, a quick cheat sheet. You can screenshot that, look it up. It's worthwhile having that. So, for example, as I wrote before, yo tomo, tomar is the verb, yo tomo, tú tomas, vosotros tomáis, usted toma. Usted is a formal you. Ustedes toman, ella toma, ellos toman. And then sentences. This is the last slide of this one. We'll have another deck and video. The shorter the better. You can kind of digest them slowly. Sentences. How to complete sentences with any AR verb. So there's formulaic kind of ways of looking at language in Spanish, and this is an easy one, so you can screenshot this as well. First, say the subject, who is doing the action, then add the conjugated verb, the action itself, and finally finish with the rest of the thought. So the subject, say Oscar, verb, trabajar, which is the AR verb, that's the infinitive, which means unconjugated, and other elements. Trabajar hoy, right? So conjugate it, when is he doing it? Él trabaja hoy. Oscar trabaja hoy. So Oscar is an él or ella, right? And you conjugate it for that verb, for that, I guess, tense. Él trabaja, Oscar trabaja hoy. Hoy means today. H-O-Y, hoy. So muchos estudiantes trabajan por la noche. Many students work in the evenings, right? So muchos estudiantes, you can think of it as ellos or ellas, right? Them, they, and you conjugate it with the en. Ellos trabajan. So that's a good way to kind of go about stuff. There's a screenshot, anything, save the video. Hopefully this is helpful. And then make sure to watch the next video for getting to the remainder of the homework, if you have homework.